What's going on, guys? It's Groove, back with another one from Gradually Then Suddenly by Lewis Parker. Now, if this is your first video, this book is a compilation of different essays about Bitcoin and some misconceptions about it as well. So in this video, we're going to be going over, can Bitcoin be banned? Because a lot of people think it can be banned, so let's get into it. So as most people, start to go down this rabbit hole of Bitcoin, and the more they start to understand it, they always go down to or get to the conclusion that the government will ban it, which, when you think about it, is an admission of itself that Bitcoin actually works, and it is better than the current system that we live under, the financial system that we live under with the dollar, so much so that they believe that the government will ban it. This essay was wrote in 2019, and here we are 5 years later, and now we see governments all over the world accepting it. So, those crazy Bitcoiners back in the day who thought that, Bitcoin was going to suck the world into it. We see it playing out right now. Here we are in 2025. We got a pro-crypto candidacy or presidency. All other countries around the world are trying to accept Bitcoin and, have it put into their financial systems. They want to buy it up. So we see that instead of banning it, they are more being open to it and accepting it. But we still got to go over this because, again, there's a lot of people out there that feel like these governments are going to ban it, which they won't. They will accept it. It will be a thing. So this essay starts out by saying, imagine if governments didn't exist and we were left to a free market society. Right then and there, I had to stop because a lot of people today don't understand that we don't live in a free market capitalist society. And so a lot of these monetary problems that people have today, they always want to blame it on capitalism, but we don't live in a free market capitalist society. We kind of do live in a socialism for the rich, and then it's kind of a dog eat dog for everybody else. Like when, companies go wrong, these big old monopoly companies, they always get bailed out, banks get bailed out, but the little guy doesn't get bailed out. The mom and pop doesn't get bailed out. And so I wish more people would realize this. It's not capitalism that is bad. It's this current financial system that we live under. It's not true free market capitalism. In this free market society, we always want the strongest currency. We always want the strongest money, which right now is Bitcoin. It's not the dollar, but so many people are still asleep to this. This is why they're having so many problems, is because everybody wants the dollars and we want more and more dollars because the dollar is broken. This is why people want more. But in a free market society, if people woke up, they would want Bitcoin because Bitcoin is better money. It has better properties of money than the dollar. So now that we know if we actually lived in a free market society, people would look towards getting the best money, which is Bitcoin. But now here we go back to living in this current world that we live in with governments and with them banning it. So you have to understand that Bitcoin is unbannable because it doesn't live in this realm. It doesn't live in the world. It lives beyond governments. It lives beyond centralized third-party controls like banks. It's global and it's decentralized, and the more people that adopt it, the harder it is to kill. It's kind of like playing a game of whack-a-mole because anybody can run a node and run the software and just be running Bitcoin. And so as soon as you try to take out one person, another one pops up. As soon as you try to take out one country, another country pops up. You can't ban it and you can't kill it. It is purposely built to resist attacks, to resist banning, to resist governments. Now, this isn't to say that governments will, they won't try to regulate it or tax it, even though I'm starting to hear talks about that even going away as well. So can you imagine that? You have Bitcoin and now the government, because they want it from you, because they understand it's better money, they want you to spend it. And so now we're talking about no tax on crypto. Instead of them trying to tax it away so you don't spend it with them, so you don't ever part with it, I believe, and I'm starting to hear talks that there may become a time pretty soon that there will be a no tax on Bitcoin. And especially with this current administration that's coming in, they're super pro crypto. And so even after these next 4 years, you're not going back. Ever since Obama was in office, all the way up until now in 2024, 2025, the current administration have been trying, or I'm not going to say the current because Trump was in there from 2016 to 2020, but the people behind the scenes who have been running this country have been trying to ban Bitcoin. They've been trying, well, not really ban it, but they've been trying to choke it out. They've been trying to stop companies from being started in America. But now, because we're going into this pro-crypto world, after Trump is done in another 4 years, we're not going to get another candidate talking about, hey, we're going to go back to, choking out Bitcoin and choking out crypto. So it only makes sense that it will move on to, we're going to continuously let it be free. We're going to probably no tax on Bitcoin. And that person will probably win if they go that route anyway. Another reason Bitcoin won't be banned, Bitcoin is just a thing. Now it is money, it's perfect money, but it is just another thing. If the governments want to ban Bitcoin, like how can you do that? How can we live in a free society, which we say America is, or anywhere else in the world? How can you sit there and ban something? If I want to put my money into Bitcoin, I should be able to do that. If I want to put my money into Beanie Babies, I should be able to do that. Or Pokemon cards or whatever. So saying that the government is going to ban Bitcoin is trying to say that they will take away your basic rights and freedoms as a human to be able to use your value or whatever you've earned to go buy whatever you want, which in this case would be the Bitcoin. Governments couldn't even ban alcohol or guns. And even right now, again, it's late 2020, or I guess late January 2025, and TikTok just went down, but they're about to bring that back. So saying that, you know, the governments or people will ban Bitcoin is just silly. They will not ban Bitcoin. They cannot ban perfect money. Again, like I said, they can't even ban alcohol or TikTok or guns. Like, they're not about to ban Bitcoin. But if they did try to ban Bitcoin, again, because Bitcoin is so decentralized, because it's global, because anybody can run a node, they would have to find each individual person running a node, and all the world's governments would have to collude together to try to find each individual running a node, broadcasting these transactions, and that's just kind of impossible to do. Again, it becomes sort of like a whack-a-mole type of deal. It's like, okay, well, we got this person, but then this person popped up with their node, or we got that person, but then this person in Russia popped up with their node. All right, we got that person, but this one is running a node in El Salvador. And so it's kind of impossible to ban and stop Bitcoin. In the end, trying to ban Bitcoin is a fool's errand. You know, the more governments try to ban Bitcoin, the more they fuel the adoption, which just makes, again, more people get into the system. Here we are 5 years later after this essay was wrote, and more governments, more countries are starting to accept it. So we see that that's not going to happen, and it would never happen in the first place. So that's pretty much it for this video. Go ahead and hit a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.